It's important for us to be able to show the world perhaps the challenges that still, to a degree, women face, especially in communities and worlds dominated by men.
One of the biggest challenges I see is this whole DEI backlash, and every woman labeled a DEI hire. People are just automatically identified as essentially not competent just because of who they are when you don't have the time to listen to their merit. I think is a big threat to attracting women in law enforcement and to other industries. Us as an industry group, leadership, institution, we got to call that out.
I just want to thank everyone for joining this call, especially our panelists. We appreciate you so much and just thank you for your service. What does empowerment mean to you, both personally and professionally, and how can women empower one another within the workplace?
As far as lifting up others, we're all going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. Give yourself some grace when you do. People are looking at you to make mistakes, but they're also looking at how you recover from those mistakes.
Empowerment means to me a lot of the same things both the other panelists have said, the space to be myself, the space to do something and maybe even fail forward a little bit. And I think that's when I've experienced the most growth.
Having people who are actually advocating for you when you're not there is priceless. That's how I think true allyship would work here.
If you don't take a chance on yourself, no one else will. Know that you are ready. Put in the hours. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself and invest in your future. Every agency wants to get 30% more females or 30% females by 2030. That's huge. We definitely need this generation, just the way that this generation thinks, embraces all of the differences, which is amazing. Law enforcement needs to hear your voice.
If you've done this profession for a long time and you've been surrounded by people like you, that affinity bias, we tend to congregate with people we like. We tend to work with people who also think like us. And then you have someone who maybe doesn't fit into that mold. Talking to them and like trying to understand their approach to this job, it just makes us stronger. Again, differences aren't a bad word, but being receptive to those differences and not shying away from them. We don't have to all be the same in order to get along and do a job well. In fact, we're better off when we aren't the same.